Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. It is CDB back again with another shave video, and today we're going to use one of the first soaps that I ever used, and I'll talk a little bit about the first shave. This was either the first or second soap I used. I had Taub's Sandalwood and Proraso Green, which I think smells like eucalyptus. To me, the scent is not remarkable, but it is a good soap. It's one that most everybody tries at some point, and a heck of a lot of people own. Available on Amazon and so forth. So a lot of people, when they first come into wet shaving, they stumble upon Proraso Green, and it's a perfectly fine soap. It's a good soap. The razor is Edwin Jagger, another sort of first type razor that people use, and I like to say it's not a beginner's razor. It's a razor that anybody can use, but it works well for beginners. So Edwin Jagger DE89. I'm going to use a boar brush today, the Omega. This one happens to be the razor and brush Omega. Omega sells a boar brush like that that's not branded razor and brush that you can get. But the first brush I ever shaved with was a Best Badger. I think it was a Parker Best Badger. Also found on Amazon. So I'll put on a little pre-shave while I'm talking. So the first shave, it was back in, I want to say 2013-ish. And I found some sort of blog, and they were talking about, traditional wet shaving, and then I stumbled upon Geo Fat Boy on YouTube and Mantic59, who are legendary, obviously, in the shaving world. And so I was convinced after watching their videos, because they're excellent teachers. If you want to learn how to shave, those are the two gents to go to, in my opinion. Just terrific instructional material that they put out. Anyway, I watched their material. I was ready to go. I had that Parker Best Badger brush, which wasn't incredibly soft, but it was fine. And I got to work. And honestly, it wasn't a terrific shave, even though I had taken all the tips of Geo Fat Boy and Mantic59. The one thing that no amount of instruction, I should say, can prepare you for is the fact that your face has to adjust to traditional style shaving with a single blade, especially if you're coming from carts or electric razor. I was actually coming from like a Braun electric shaving razor, because the carts I had got terrible results with. Of course, I didn't know at the time. I was just pushing my blade way too long. I wasn't using a good soap and not doing a 3-pass shave, so on and so forth. But anyway, I ended up with using a Braun, which worked fine, but it never shaved particularly close. So I stumbled upon Geo Fat Boy and Mantic59, and I'm ready to go. And I pulled off the shave, and I didn't cut myself, but I had bad razor burn. And so it took me probably a couple of weeks before I got used to this style of shaving. Folks, your face, that feels terrific, by the way. Your face takes time to adjust. So if you're new and you're not getting the best results of your life, and usually the selling point of traditional shaving is get the best shave of your life, and it's going to be inexpensive because the blades are very cheap. You get like 100 blades for $10. That is true, but there is a learning period and a learning curve and an adjustment period for your face. And so do not be discouraged by early results where it's a little tough on you. It takes time for your face to adjust. It really does. And so don't be discouraged if the first couple to several of weeks aren't the greatest, but you will adjust to it eventually. And you'll find what works for you. It takes some longer than others, but ultimately, and hopefully, it will work well for you. And so anyway, I did all the prep, going back to, which you don't see on this channel, is the prep. They put hot wet towels to their face to, soften up the whiskers and all these various things, which I think are excellent for new people or even veteran shavers if you need it. But primarily for new folks. Anyway, I did all those things, and it just the first go around or the first few weren't terrific. I didn't cut myself, but they just, razor burn, irritate, it was a little tough. But eventually it just clicked, and here we go, many years later, and probably over 1,000 videos later, between my two channels. And again, I mention this from time to time. If you don't know, this is not the first channel I ever had. I still have a channel at ilather.com. Put a link for you right there. That has a lot of old content on it. That's me. And back in those days, was referred to as the TSE, Traditional Shaving Evangelist, because I was evangelizing for this hobby. And then I changed the channel name to iLather, like iPhone or what have you. Anyway, there's a lot of content there. And all told, I think I've done I'm pretty sure I've done well over 1,000 videos over the years. So I've been pretty prolific about doing it because I enjoy it, so on and so forth. I've had the opportunity to try a lot of gear, meet a lot of wonderful people. And so it's a hobby. Anyway, that was just a little bit about the first shave. By the way, if you want to support this channel so we can bring more gear to you, please become a Patreon supporter if you can. Link right there. If you can contribute, I will appreciate it, and I turn whatever I get in way of contributions back into the channel for gear. And also, the gear that you see here today, whatever that can be purchased on Amazon, I'll put links below to make it easy for you to purchase. And it helps me out if you use those affiliate links as well. And I'm quite sure this Edwin Jagger razor's on there, and the Proraso soap at least. And probably my Thayer's Witch Hazel. And oh, by the way, I finished off with Proraso Green. It's also on that. This is a terrific aftershave. It doesn't hang around long, but it's got a great scent. And from my perspective, it does not smell like the soap. But anyway, if you want to support, please do so. And please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. So back to the first few shaves. They weren't terrific, but I kept at it for quite some time. I'm forgetting which pass I'm on. I think I'm on my second pass. I don't even remember. I'm so busy yapping. But anyhow, I kept at it for quite a long time. And then eventually I stumbled onto shaving forums like Badger and Blade and so on, and participated in those forums some, and then found Facebook groups and so on. And just then I learned from many, many other people about how to shave properly. My first instruction, like I said, was from the greats, Mantic 59 and Geo Fatboy. And then it was from many, many people in various groups, just giving tips and watching people and, just really learning how to properly shave. And one of the things I learned is most people don't really know how to properly shave. They think they do, but they don't. And I'm absolutely convinced that regardless of whether you use a cart or a double-edged razor or a straight razor or a single-edged razor, that this style of shaving in a traditional way with a brush, a good soap, and a couple of 2 to 3 passes is the way to go. I don't think shaving in a single pass is the best way to go at all. I'm convinced that, again, if you want to use a cart, use a cart. But grab yourself a brush. Boar in particular can be had very inexpensively, and you can break them in, or get you a synthetic. Get you a few decent soaps, and you will be good to go once you learn to use the razor properly, learn the angles, learn what your face will tolerate, so on and so forth. And then at that point, you will have the best shaves of your life, but not until. And generally speaking, it's not going to be the first the first shave. If you've never used a safety razor or a straight razor or a single edge razor, it's probably not going to be your best trip out on your first go. So don't be discouraged. Keep at it. And eventually you will master it if you stick with it. Once your face adjusts, and then you'll go, yeah, this is good. It's relaxing. You know, I have this in common with maybe some other people. And, you know, you can sort of become part of the community, which is fairly large community of folks, and just enjoy. And typically what happens is people stumble into this, and then they realize that everybody else has all sorts of other hobbies, like collecting knives or cigars or whiskey or, you know, barbecuing, grilling, and what have you. You'll find that most of you have other hobbies also, which is pretty cool. And it's generally a nice community. There are toxic elements within it. You'll see it in the comments of some of my videos. But generally, most people are good folks that, you know, it's usually the anonymous folks that are most toxic. But anyway, you'll meet people, I think, that are nice people, and it'll be worth your time. At least that's my perspective or my experience. This, folks, has been a rough week. Today, literally, something at work was on fire. So it was a very difficult week. I'm glad the work week is over. And I'm hoping for a better day tomorrow and a better week, a weekend than the week was, because it was stressful and extremely challenging, to say the least. But I'm happy to wrap it up and sort of close the week out with a nice shave. After I take a shower, I'm going to use some Proraso green, which smells wonderful. Again, check out the affiliate links below. Check out my other social media. Check out Patreon. All links, if you hit show more, somewhere down about there, probably, there's a little thing that says show more. Then it'll pop down and you'll see all the rest of the information. So take advantage of that. As always, I want to thank you sincerely for watching, and thank you for your support. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. You are not. God bless.